What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Yo.
Oh, that's different.
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. All right, Josh. Have you been playing any Sony exclusives lately?
God of War. Ragnarok. I've been replaying that one. It's so good.
You still haven't gotten into, like, The Last of Us Part 2?
No.
Have you played that Forbidden Hero Hidden Dawn?
Oh,
whatever?
the Horizon one? I started the first one. I know the second one is supposed to come out or whatever, or the DLC, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
But it was fun for the most part. I put it down. I forgot why I put it down, but it was good when I was playing with it. Yeah.
Oh, you just haven't picked it.
I haven't picked it back up now.
Maybe because God of War came into the picture. Maybe?
Probably, yeah. Bumped it out of its way.
Sony does have good exclusives. You already know me. I played both Last of Us. I'm both God of Wars. I haven't played that Horizon Zero Dawn one.
Yeah.
It never really appealed to me, but I heard it's really good.
No, yeah, it is good.
I heard it's really good. But you know, you guys out there are probably wondering why I'm asking about video games on a movie podcast. Well, it's because apparently video games are getting movie budgets. And it's crazy because I guess a recent leak from analysts. So, a little backstory. As of right now, Activision and Blizzard are trying to get that acquisition to, buy them out and be able to have their own.
Yeah.
Sony stepped in and the FTC stepped in and was like, well, wait, this doesn't seem right. Seems like they're going to monopolize the game kind of shit. Like they're trying to stop this merger from happening. You've heard about the merger, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess to kind of show how it's going to hurt numbers, Sony was asked, hey, what are the numbers on the games that you've been putting out? And it wasn't supposed to be public record, but I guess they didn't redact a certain money. So, apparently, all these games are getting movie budgets. The Last of Us 2 cost over $200 million to make on its own. Horizon Zero Dawn took $220. God of War $212 million. So it's like we're getting to movie budgets, and I was always wondering like, why are video games so expensive now? $60, $100, $120, and they never put out the numbers. So I was always assuming like technology is getting better, yeah, but maybe because it's just getting easier. Having to do video games every year. I just thought things were just getting easier.
Oh, no.
I didn't think that they were putting all this money into this, into it. But it's good. They're still making a profit at the end of it. I think the reports say that every single game, even though this isn't including like marketing and stuff, they said after everything's said and done that they're still making about $300 million profit after every single game. Yeah. So $300+ million profit. That's still pretty good. So that means that they have to be making at least with everything by the end of it all, probably like what, 600 million,
Including, I don't know,
to break even.
The math is fucking.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they took like 200 million to make it, let's say advertisement and everything will do in another 70 to 80 million. Yeah. If it's a bigger project, maybe another 100 million. That'd be like 300 million. Yeah. If they're still making a profit by the end of that, they have to be making at least roughly around 600 million per like game launch. You know what I mean? So The Last of Us Part 2, worth it. A lot of backlash, but worth it. God of War, worth it, obviously. And I don't know about Horizon, but does this justify the game tags that be coming up on there?
I think so. Obviously, I think now where we're just like, if you really want games that are very realistic, and do all this other stuff,
immersive, all that.
Yeah, like you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay people, not just the actors that are doing mocap and all that, but music and this and that. You know what I mean? They still hire these big budget names. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of it goes into making that. It's not. I imagine. Sorry, I know there's a big difference between doing mocap and then just programming someone. I bet just programming is a little cheaper. Yeah. Because now you're paying for actors to do more than they're supposed to. Like, I don't think they did mocap for the Wizard game, the one that just came out, the one you were playing,
Oh, Harry Potter.
the Harry Potter one.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
I don't think so. I'd imagine it's just voice lines and all that.
Yeah, like God of War, that was
God
mocap.
of War takes mocap. Last of Us takes mocap. Zero Dawn, I'm sure, had mocap in it.
I think all of them do mocap to a certain extent. I think only to get the movements and stuff like that. But I think some of them are like full on mocap where they're trying to get all like movements, facial expressions, everything all at one time. And then you have the other suits that are just trying to get the movements, how certain things are supposed to move. Like the Harry Potter one, obviously you got to know how they flick the wrist, so they probably put dots on somebody's arm just so they can figure that out. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I'd imagine it's
Wingardium Leviosa.
I'd imagine it's expensive. $60 for a game is I think it's justified.
Yeah, they're not seeing the theatrical run. They're not seeing anything like that. It's just kind of like a launch. And honestly, every single game has been super immersive as of lately. I don't think, it's not like we're in the Hollywood sphere where like, people say like CGI is regressing and stuff like that and blah, blah, blah. Like video games are going straight forward. You know what I mean?
Updating.
Groundbreaking type shit. Like things you would never see before are being done in video games, which is insane. Fucking insane. Yeah. And if you guys seen The Last of Us Part 2, you know have you guys seen or played the game? You know what scene I'm talking about. Anyways, but yeah, so that being said, on top of that, Sony is also profiting off these games too, because they played it smart. They're no longer paying 30% to a third party online seller. You know what I mean? Whatever exclusives they have stay on their PlayStation. If they're out there, at Walmart or whatever, that's fine. But a majority of the time, especially releasing a discless version of the PS5, people just got to purchase them digitally. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're making a killing off of that themselves. Why go to Walmart when I could just download it off the PlayStation Store? And on top of that, it's this much cheaper because I think in the stores they have to like put a different kind of sales tax or whatever. Whereas and shipping and all that stuff. Whereas online,
it's just $60.
Yeah, you pay that flat rate, you're done. So I mean, making money left and right. Sony's doing the right thing. I don't know where I don't know where a judge is gonna look at it and be like, "Oh, Sony, you're making tons of bank. You have rightful cause to stop this other company from making tons of bank." You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like one's trying to keep. It sounds like Sony's just trying to keep Microsoft from capitalizing on this deal.
Basically, which I mean, they already own Call of Duty. I don't know who's thriving for that, but they own Call of Duty, which is arguably one of the bigger first shooter franchises. I could not like understand this deal.
Well, they're in the middle of getting it, so
yeah.
It's it's gonna be an interesting fight, but seeing that these numbers are leaking and stuff like that is telling me that shit's gonna get messy pretty soon. Like if shit's leaking out about what's happening, that means somebody wants people to know what Sony's doing, what's happening with Activision. You know what I mean? Some shit's gonna go down, and we will be here to explore that when it happens. It's gonna be great. But somebody who did finally come out, actually two people came out after the Flash premiere. First one I want to speak on is Ezra Miller. Okay, yesterday, actually on Saturday, on July 1st, he wound up going on Instagram, and publicly apologizing for certain things. So, as we all know, depending on what side of the aisle, you either see Ezra Miller as this monstrous, heinous, unwielding maniac who goes into bars and terrorizes people, steals wine out of your house, and grooms children.
Yes.
And on the other side, he's somebody who was going through shit and, got a little bit overboard, but, a lot of things were just attaching himself to it.
Yeah.
One of the avalanches that he wound up rupturing is basically the grooming of a child. And this was a big one. Okay, I think this one was like the icing on the cake on top of everything. The people were like, fighting the Ku Klux Klan? Fuck it. You know what? KKK?
Someone has to do it.
The Flash has to do something about that. Fighting people at a bar? Well, they probably deserved it. They were drunk and belligerent. And you know, I think he even came out saying that they were saying like homophobic slurs to him at one point. Breaking into into somebody's house for wine. That one I think is still up in the air. Either which way, this grooming one really took that big hit, and I think something that really made the tabloids grab and run with it was the fact that they put a restraining order on him. 100 meters, could not be around this kid or the family. Strict restraining order. But on Friday, the judge overruled that restraining order, said that he was basically innocent of those charges, and that they will still be having a hearing, but the charges as of right now are dropped.
Have been dropped.
And it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So he wound up going onto Instagram, and he basically wrote this. I'm encouraged by today's outcome and very grateful at this moment to everyone who has stood beside me and sought to ensure that this egregious misuse of protective order system was halted. Protective orders are meant to provide safety for individuals, families, and children who are in danger. They are not meant to be used as weapons by those seeking attention or fleeting tabloid fame or some sort of personal vengeance when there are people in true and dire need of those services. I have been unjustly and directly targeted by an individual who, the facts have shown, has a history of such manipulative and destructive actions. I implore those members of the media who have recklessly spread false claims and failed to accurately report the truth and context of this story to hold themselves to a higher standard and take the time to find the facts rather than chasing the clicks. On a personal note, I want everyone to know that I am continuing to do my best to preserve my own wellness and what I can to reverse the collateral damage this ordeal has brought upon me and those close to me. Finally, to all you many beings in this world who have had the enormous courage to see me through it all and make it here with me, I will spend a long time trying to explain to you what it has meant to have your support. You have my undying gratitude, admiration, and love, Ezra.
So I saw this, and for me, I was like, well, very good. I know a lot of people were like, oh, why was he waiting for so long after the Flash to come out and say something? Well, one, he probably wasn't ready to deal with it, and again, he was probably just waiting for this to be like, yeah, okay, this is a W, you know.
Yeah.
And I would hope that this shines a light onto people who were saying all these bad things, because I wasn't defending him, but at the same time, I knew these are all allegations, and while this restraining order thing was a big thing, we still don't know what happened fully. You know, I think somewhere when this first came out, the parents were like, oh yeah, he was this and that. But they were trying to silence the kid because the kid was like, this is not what happened or whatever. And then you had Ezra's side, you know, dealing with it.
Yeah, they used it like, oh yeah, it's just a child. Like, you can't believe a child kind of thing. But it's like, didn't that child tell you guys what he was doing?
Yeah. And so I hope this brings to new light that people were just really blowing it out of proportion, because it wasn't just him, but it was people falsely trying to make it something that it wasn't. Yeah. So good. Very cool for Ezra.
Good eye. And I mean, I guess, like I said, these studios have a good idea, and that's why they kind of stay quiet. They're not 100% sure, but they have an idea on who the people they hire. You know what I mean? They can get it wrong at times. Shit like that happens all the time. But the thing is that Ezra having these issues, it was literally the avalanche, right? Like I said, it was a snowball effect. Every single thing he hit was going to come with him all the way down. Yeah. From that video where he was seen choking some random chick in a store, to, you know, the bar thing, to the wine thing, to the grooming. It's like everything was going to stick. So a lot of people knew that he was, you know, dealing with shit. And so they knew that this was the opportunity. And honestly, let's be honest, the Flash going through its problems, you know, DC going through his problems, you know, Ezra was just, you know, to me, Ezra Miller was somebody they could throw in there with it and say like, oh yeah, these are all the problems surrounding it. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, it hurt the Flash movie. Yeah. You know, the movie that they were writing on, this movie 10 years in the making, and look where now he says something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. Either which way, it's good that he waited, because no matter what the fuck he said, people were still gonna be like, well, you know, nobody has confirmed that yet. Nobody did this, whatever. He could just be lying. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
So he was just waiting for them to be like, for something like this to happen, so he could finally air it out. And I'm sure as we continue, he'll continue to air it out. But this is a first step in the right direction, I feel.
Yeah, no, it's good. And if they already took the restraining order off, there has to be something there that told the judge, like, hey, he's not a threat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, there's no way that they're just gonna have a restraining order on him for nothing. You know, so especially the high profile case. Come on, everybody's looking at him. They're not gonna treat him unfairly. You know what I mean? What does this look like? The Romanian government? No, I'm just playing.
Oh my god.
Moving on though. Somebody else who is also hopefully Ezra Miller does get the help that he needs, and he continues to do what he needs to do for his mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't condone anything that he did, because like I said, that video where he's choking some chick in the store, you could tell he needed some help then. You know what I mean? I think that was like the first video that really came out publicly about what was going on, and so that just showed a man who didn't give a fuck because he was going through something. And you know, you can tell when somebody's going through it because they're evil and just want to watch the world burn, because he wouldn't have stopped there. And then you can see the people that are actually genuinely confused, don't know what the fuck's going on, probably taking something to help ease the pain or whatever. He needs help, and hopefully he's getting that help.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, on a different note though, I don't know how uppity this note is gonna be, but Kiersey Clemens has finally came out a month, or not even a month, almost a month after The Flash has come out, saying that she believes there's a curse on it. And, you know, at one point she was really embarrassed to be a part of this movie. So Clemens was hired on way back in the day, in the beginning, the birth of the DCEU, right? Zack Snyder was getting his slate together. He wound up saying The Flash will be one of the 4th or 5th movie down the line in his roster. Turned out to be the 17th in the DCEU, but whatever. And Rick Fuyama was supposed to direct this movie. So together with Rick and Zach, they basically handpicked Clemens, because I think she also said in the podcast that there was a scene that there was supposed to be at the end of The Flash where they're supposed to be together and in love, and there was supposed to be chemistry between them. And then I guess at that point, that's when they were like, she needs to be Iris. Proceeded to put her in Justice League to, you know, as a precursor to what we were going to see in The Flash. But with everything that happened, it just made it more humiliating for her. And she says this in her quote, that I was freaked out because at one point there were rumors going around online that I was getting recast, which is humiliating. It was more embarrassing and hurtful than getting cut out of the Justice League, which I was able to understand more than the rumors of being recast. They had to cut the movie down. That's how it goes. With The Flash, I was so young and was so excited, and the director that I was supposed to be on with was gone, and so I felt dismissed and replaceable. And it's true. I mean, if they cut you out of a movie, the movie that, you know, you were supposed to be in to basically set you in the universe, that's where things get a little unsteady. You know what I mean? Like, if you were in that movie before, it would be a little bit harder to recast you. Yeah. You would have a little bit more job security. But they cut her out completely in that one. Oh, no.
They were just like, yeah, she doesn't work. Or we didn't thought she didn't work, whatever.
For whatever reason.
But, oh, my God, man. I wouldn't say it's cursed. Or, actually, it probably is cursed.
Well, we haven't gotten to that point yet, but, I mean, at least with, yeah, because she did say it was cursed or whatever, but, like, I think it was probably cursed. 10 years in the making, it has to be cursed. 100%.
Yeah.
10 years? That the Flash curse. This Flash movie has never had a live-action movie at all. And, wow.
It's not beating these allegations. Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Because they cut out Ray. He cut out Ray Fisher drastically, but he was still in the movie.
Yeah, but in hindsight too, even in Zack Snyder's Justice League, Iris was only in the scene that she was in. You know what I mean? Ray Fisher Cyborg, at least he was able to, you know, he was throughout the movie.
That's right. He was still in it. But that's what I mean. Like she was cut out fully of Justice League, and then Ray Fisher he was drastically cut also, but he still had a part to play because they couldn't cut him out completely.
Yeah.
But for
he had to say
them
booyah.
for them to just be like, her part isn't what is the word? Integrate. I can't remember the fucking word. That she isn't as important to Ezra to the Flash's like journey or whatever
in the Justice League.
Justice League is dumb. They were just like, they saw that whole scene and was like, yeah, no, that can go. Let's just focus on him and his dad being in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, that's dumb, because now you have a universe to build up by cutting them out, and now people who haven't seen the Zack Snyder Justice League are gonna see her and be like, oh, well, they met previously, but when did they meet previously?
Yeah, but either which way, they could have cut her out completely of this movie, and I wouldn't have even noticed. She really didn't. I mean,
For the Flash?
Yeah, I would have. Don't get me wrong, I like her and everything, but she should have just stayed face and just
her.
At least she wouldn't have had a box office bomb on her resume.
Yeah, her scenes in the beginning didn't really justify her being there.
No, nothing. Not even in the apartment at all. Like nothing. Yeah. Like, oh, she gave you that bright idea to go back in time after everybody told you not to do it, and then you go ahead and do it anyways. And then she shows up at the very end, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm back at your apartment after you mysteriously left me here the night before. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I would have just, if I was her manager, I would have just said, pull out.
It's time to go.
Yeah, we'll find you a different role where they appreciate you. Come, mija. You know, go with me, mija. So she goes on a little bit more, saying that now that the movie's out, I feel like for the last nearly 10 years, I've just been smiling and giving so much grace. I think it was to protect my peace of mind. Now I can finally say and admit this whole thing made me cry more than it made me smile. I think I only smiled over this thing at the premiere. Yeah, I would have just been like, completely just kick me out the movie. I would have just said that a long time ago. I mean, work is work, I guess, but I don't know, man.
I don't know.
This movie,
a big mess,
went through so many. I mean, well, it went through 2 directors that were recently signed on. There was a bunch of rumors saying that they were talking to Sam Raimi, talking to Dennis Villela or whatever. Like, they were talking to all different directors that kept saying no, and then finally landed on Andy Muschietti and gave us what
we got. This fucking guy. Yeah, no, there was no real saving her character. She should have bounced honestly, after the second director.
I don't know. I think by the end product, I think everybody just gave up, and then we're trying to gaslight us and tell us that it was a good movie.
Yeah, probably.
Like I said, I think this movie would do good. The Flash will do good on streaming, but in her case, it doesn't just, like, as much as I like Ezra Miller, it doesn't justify in my head what Zaslav did of cutting Batgirl. And, you know, it doesn't justify that and then not cutting this movie. You know what I mean? If they cut Batgirl, they should have cut The Flash. They probably would have made a little bit more back than what, you know, they're getting as of right now in the box office. I mean, at this point, they're trying to get the movie out as soon as possible. So it's like they could have easily went a different route, but they kept it for whatever reason. And then her scene in here too, like I said, it didn't make any difference whether she was in the movie or not. She didn't play a crucial part, a vital part. She wasn't even like a love interest at all. You know what I mean? Like, not even in the alternate universe did he have any like relationships or anything. So it's like this movie could have just not have been put out, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, now that we've seen it, I feel like I could say that. But yeah, this very big garbage thing.
In a different universe, it didn't come out, and you're that guy in the chair that was like, oh, The Flash would have been so good if they would have fucking released it, and I would have been like, nah, man, that shit would have been a garbage, and you would have been like, nah, it was so good.
In another universe, we would have had the Snyderverse. So
yeah, no, there's that too. The multiverse got me thinking about those things, man.
Yeah.
In a different universe, I'm happy right now watching the Snyderverse unfold. Very good.
It's probably on Justice League.
Good for him. good for me in 538. I don't know what universe it would be. But either which way, I mean, like, do you think that this movie should have? Do you agree with me that this movie could have not came out?
I don't think it should have not came out because they needed an excuse to reboot for James Gunn's thing. But there's a lot of questionable things to be like, well, if this they thought this was worth keeping, they thought Blue Beetle was worth keeping. Why was Batgirl the exception? Like, what was so wrong with that movie?
Too much Keaton.
You think so?
I think it would just have been too much to redo, and I think it was just too much money for them. I think when they looked at it, well, this is what I thought before the fucking Flash bomb. So maybe at one point, prospectively speaking, they were like, the Flash has Ezra Miller. You know, it's going to be this big blockbuster. It's the first time you see the Flash. And then on one hand, it's the first time you see Batgirl. But at the same time, it has Michael Keaton from the Flash, which he was supposed to be around for this one. But we're going to go a whole totally different direction. So still changes the universe. We just got to get rid of any movies that's going to say that Keaton's coming back. Because it's just too expensive to do reshoots at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in the whole fucking movie probably.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I think that's why they did the decision that they did, because they knew they weren't going down that route. So it's like, what's the point of putting it out?
Probably. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what goes on at WB.
I swear they just smoke crack and make decisions.
Probably.
I wish I could do that.
Probably would set their lot on fire.
Oh, damn, dude. Too much crack? Walter Hamada's just out there cracking it up now. He's just like, damn, bro. Take head of this spliff.
This place went to shit without me, no? Like, no, bro, you were the shit that was happening.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it is.
He did his best.
No, he didn't.
No. You try to pilot a multi-billion-dollar company.
Say less.
No. Piloting it straight to the ground.
I will have a cinematic universe quickly.
Quick?
Yeah.
Quick. I need to hear the storyboards on you. Moving on though. Will Smith back in the news, not for slapping anybody, unfortunately, but something, I guess, that previously happened back in the 90s. And you guys are wondering, like, why the fuck we give a fuck about anything that happened in the 90s? I was like a baby or was barely being born in the 2000s. Well, let me tell you something. The 90s was a wild time, okay? And Will Smith is a big name, so anybody will try to get some kind of publicity out of him, any shape, form, or way. And so an executive producer named David Steven Simon, he was talking about his new book, Freaks, Gleeks, and Dawson's Creek. That's a weird book name. He was a producer on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the 90s. So he wound up talking about an idea that Will Smith was adamant and refused to want to do. And that was declining to allow RuPaul cameo on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He says that the two were two rising stars in the 90s and that it would be a good look for him, but Smith just did not agree, saying that he remembers saying that it was a bad idea and he would just tell him, listen to me, and by the end of it, Will Smith would not budge. And if you don't know who RuPaul is, it's the famous drag model that you see all over.
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Okay, let me just.
They were famous in the 90s?
They were. I think RuPaul was coming up at the same time. Like it was. I don't know how to be politically. That's RuPaul, the tall.
Oh,
black
okay.
one. She was coming up in the 90s, becoming a model and stuff like that. I think she was like the first open androgyny kind of thing, like when that movement was coming out. So like she really dressed up and became like this icon for that for the transgender movement now. Now what I'm thinking, back then it was like, oh, two rising black stars, you know, let's put them in the same room together and see how it was, because I think at the time RuPaul would, you know, cross dress, so she would still be a man but dressed as a woman. And it was a weird time. So now the reason why I'm bringing it up, because a lot of people are making it seem like this is a big deal. like, oh, that Will Smith saying no to this cross-dresser back in the 90s or whatever, like, it's this big deal. Like, I was reading comments and that shit was just, it was too much. And I was like, cancel him for this many years? Here's the thing. It was a wild time back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, in my opinion, it wasn't as, people still were accepting of it, but it wasn't as accepted. It wasn't widely accepted like that. So either which way, I mean, the producer probably thought it was a good idea, but Will Smith being the star, the person that was backing the money for the show, stuff like that, by, I think, season 3, he was a producer already on the show and stuff like that. Like, I'm pretty sure he had an idea of, like, what he didn't want on the show and what he felt would have threatened that.
I would imagine, because it was real taboo stuff. Like, there was barely any like LGBT actors and whatnot, or if they were, they were very closeted, and the tabloids would be like, oh, so and so is doing so and so, you know. And I would imagine it's very just taboo stuff. And if his show is up and coming, that could have probably tanked it. You know, it wasn't like these talk shows where they could just have these kind of people and air it out. It was very controversial stuff. You know, I would imagine, though, on the other hand, that he had Donald Trump and all these other famous people on there. I don't see why this would have been too big of a deal. But at the same time, I understand.
You understand what's riling people up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to be this invested in something that happened literally forever ago, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
People need to let it go. Like,
unless we can get a time machine, go back in time, put a gun at Will Smith's head and be like, put RuPaul on this fucking show. And then tell him, don't slap Chris Rock at the Grammys either, or whatever the fuck, at the Oscars. Don't fucking slap him. Like, it's a bad career move. And then put the gun away and we leave. You know? No, we don't. Do
people need to find something better to do with their time, because this is really dumb. People are really digging through people's past to try and cancel them at this point. No,
it's that scrubbing thing. It's so fucking weird.
This is dumb.
And like, he doesn't have enough on his plate with that whole. I mean, has he fully recovered from that Chris Rock thing now? It's been
I think he's still in hiding.
It's like part 2, right? Part 2. Like, he's on a slapping spree. It's like year 2 since it happened, right? Okay. Yeah, so he's still probably. I mean, he was in that Emancipation movie, but like, that one didn't create enough buzz. No, we would have been talking about it. He's doing
Bad Boys, but he's still like, he's not in the tabloids now. He's just quiet.
Yeah, he put on that one video, promoted it, and he's supposed to be filming it right now. That's true, unless there's an actor strike. But that's still up in the air. But yeah, I thought it was crazy, and I was like, look, man, in my opinion, serves for anything is leave that shit in the past, man. We can't even change this. Like, it's not even like what are we gonna do? Have him put him on the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Is that like, that's the only move that I can think of, the producer putting it, is to kind of apply pressure on him to put him on the new one that's on Peacock. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, as his ex-producer, probably known him for years, buddies, why would you apply this kind of pressure to have RuPaul on his new Fresh Prince show? A
show that he produces, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. This is not to get your feathers riled up. This is dumb.
My boy was just in his man cave, just like, I'm going to get Will Smith back for this hard no he kept giving me for this RuPaul situation.
I'm going to put it in a book that people probably won't read it, but turns out they read it for some reason.
Yeah. It is what it is. I thought this one was just too much. I get it, but let's go with a little palate cleanser and go ahead and raise some awareness for our boy Ray Fisher. Okay. First of all, he wound up coming out in LeBron James' Fetch Clay Make Man. It's supposed to be basically Muhammad Ali's story. And Ray Fisher is playing Muhammad Ali. Will Smith played him at one point, Muhammad Ali, and I think another actor. I can't think of his name off top. I don't know if you've seen Zack Snyder. Also went to go watch him. Wound up putting on Vero that he went out there to go watch it.
No, I didn't.
Still hasn't said nothing about the Flash though, that he was supposed to catch a week later from that one, video on Twitter. But that's just whatever. That's just me. Either which way, Ray Fisher coming out on theater and getting high praises. Even got an article from Rolling Stone's
Yeah.
Entertainment Weekly basically praising his performance on this what's it called, on this play, and it just brings me back to like at one point they were trying to smother this man, and now over here he has roles. He's in this play now. I'm like, Ray Fisher's, he's a gangster, and it all happened because the Snyder Cut came out. After that shit came out, everybody's seen his chops and everything.
Yeah.
I think he was in one movie or whatever. But then I was even like, why didn't Zack Snyder pick him up for like Army of the Dead?
Mm.
But saving him for Rebel Moon,
Yeah, he's gonna do good. He's gonna
gonna
go far.
skyrocket.
Yeah, he's gonna go far. No doubt about that. I saw the set pictures of him as Muhammad Ali. He looked really good.
Yeah.
But that's like the most I know about this.
Mm-hmm.
But good to know that he's getting his praise, and good luck to him. I'm sure he's gonna go far.
Yeah, man. Ray Fisher
He's gonna be good.
is the man, bro. Yeah. If you guys haven't heard of him, check him out. He's in a few movies. I think he has a TV show on Hulu as well. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's really good. He does really good in there. So it's good to see that he's finally getting that recognition that he needs and he deserves, because
Joss Whedon said he couldn't act.
yeah.
So,
But here he is,
acting his ass off.
getting tripped up by WB and Walter Amado. That's what I'm saying, man. I think every single Justice League member has a case on how like the studio tried to ruin their careers. Like, it's insane. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little, after that Will Smith one, I kind of wanted to give a little palate cleanser, So
good for him.
Passing the mantle from Muhammad Ali to Ray Fisher, same thing. Topics. Let's move it. Harrison Ford also coming back out into the limelight. Now, we're not hearing Indiana Jones is doing too well in theaters. I think opening up with at least 60 million in its domestic debut. Apparently fans are saying that the critics were harsh, though. Apparently the movie's not as bad.
I wouldn't know.
I think the only bad review that I heard was, and I don't want to give him recognition or clout, but it was Neurotic. That's the only one where I heard like a bunch of bad things. But then at the same time, don't listen to the man. He literally put a video of himself saying that I'm going into Miles Morales movie.
Homie kind of racist.
Yeah, I'm going into the Miles Morales movie. There's gonna be a bunch of Spider-Man and Peter Parkers, but I'm going into like that shit. Don't listen to him. But either which way, Harrison Ford doing his little press tour for Indiana Jones 5. Regardless of how the movie's doing, he was asked about a lot of things, and one thing that he seems to be in a good mood about in this interview was him talking about his time as Han Solo, speaking really highly of it, honestly, saying that he was grateful. He says, I was grateful because it changed my life. I had opportunities that extended beyond director George Lucas, and my success is in making that film. It gave me the freedom and opportunities that I never had imagined I might have. And again, dude, I just want to bring this one up because I like the dude, but this whole flippity flop thing when it comes to Star Wars, it just irks my blood a little bit. I don't know. Do you? Harrison Ford can be a grumpy old man.
Yes.
Have you already separated the grumpy old man from like these stupid comments, or like do you hold them? Are you gatekeeping these comments?
No, not anymore. I think I come to the realization that he says what he can to survive, which is fine.
To survive?
Well, yeah, because I know he said some things about the MCU also. You know what I mean? But I really feel like he just says that shit because he's there right now. When he puts it behind him, he's gonna be like, "That shit was stupid," or whatever the fuck he's gonna say.
Yeah, he said positive things about the MCU too.
Yeah. So I'm kind of just over him and his comments at this point.
You're just like, Harrison Ford is gonna say whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's gonna say whatever he wants to, like, either put out press or please the people he's working with now.
So you think this is all a persona? Like he's just doing this just because?
Yeah, he is an actor. I'd imagine. Yeah.
So that's his thing. He's just shitting on his own roles later on down the road.
I'm pretty sure.
That'd be crazy. That's a crazy way to market it. It's like, I did a really good job, but I fucking hated playing that character. It's like, damn. Is that supposed to make us think like, damn, you really put some hard work and dedication?
You really pulled a great performance. Thanks for going through hell. What the fuck you want us to say to you? What the fuck?
Huh? I guess in a way you could see that as like an admiral thing or whatever, like admiration or whatever, but like, nah, I don't know.
Why would you do that? Why would you do it? again, if you don't like it, why do it?
Yeah, that's my thing too. Because even he was saying like by Empire Strikes Back, he wanted to be rid of Han Solo at one point. So you're excited about all the opportunity, but yet you still come back for a sixth one,
Exactly.
or
and a seventh,
and a seventh, eighth,
not eighth, ninth,
ninth,
seven and ninth.
7 and 9. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm over him as
Harrison Ford
when he talks.
So does he, like with these comments? Because I see your face with these comments. Does it make it like hard for you to watch his movies or what?
Not really, because I mean I still can admit he's a good actor, but it really when you do think about it, you're like, damn, he really just despises this role. Like, and I could hold that role very dearly. I really like Han Solo, arguably one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Mm-hmm. But, to know that he hates it that much, it really does kind of put a damper on things.
It's crazy how you can hate a role that, puts you above and all over the damn place. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be grateful, man. The fans, like, my boy's a fan of you, bro. Exactly. You're putting a bad taste in his mouth. One of these days, he's gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Like, I'd hate to see him, have him sign a Star Wars poster and him fucking rip it or something. Like that shit would suck.
You go up to him and be like, Han Solo, can I get your autograph? He's like, leave me the fuck alone. And he'd just rip your shit.
Yeah, no. I'd be like, fuck you, old man. No.
Kick him in the shins or something. Damn, man. Did you heard about that time where he like crashed his plane and survived?
No. I didn't hear about that. That just sounds crazy.
Yeah. That man's invincible. Harrison Ford's invincible. Like, I guess he was flying his plane and he was coming back and he was gonna land it by this golf course or something, or I don't know if it just I don't remember the full story. I don't know if it like just stalled and fell down or something, but he wasn't like super high. He was like coasting over the top, and then like just failure, and he landed on a golf field and like his shit was busted, but he survived, dude.
Well, damn,
good for him. Yeah, Harrison Ford's a fucking G. Nothing will hurt him.
I would imagine.
Yeah, no, man. But, hey, yo, Anthony Mackie, still in the tabloids. Okay. Because he doesn't give a fuck, man. This boy, he's not giving a fuck. He's saying whatever.
Yes,
we heard Captain America has wrapped filming.
Yeah, surprisingly quickly.
Yeah, Brave New World. Yeah. There's a lot of rumors going on with that one. So, in this interview, it was basically asked if, like, if they were going to go on strike, because I think this interview happened on Friday.
Yeah.
The day the doomsday clock was supposed to hit at midnight. Yeah. But then, the overlords decided to have a meeting and extend it. Basically, what he said to that was, it's a shit show if we go on strike, referring to the Actors Guild, saying that they're going to have to come up with a new deal, a correct deal, unless they're gonna get a bunch of fucking YouTubers to make Avengers 5. Once the studios went public and were bought out by major companies, we were fucked. It's no longer about art. It's no longer about interesting, fun work. It's about the end of the quarter profit sharing. It's about shareholders. So you're literally just raping and pillaging the industry. It's cannibalism, says Captain America.
I think he has a point, though.
I mean, I feel like the Illuminati's just getting ready to snipe this fool. Like,
he's talking a little too much. No. He has a point, though. It would be a giant shit show. And again, that just means Hollywood just isn't working. And YouTubers with even the slightest amount of talent will start grabbing movies and stuff if shit were to happen. Because they'll basically be doing what Marvel does with the whole, you can work for us, you'll get the exposure, but if the movie's shit, it's shit.
I mean, yeah, and let's keep it a buck. The Filippo brothers that are getting a chance at movies now too. You know what I mean? Like, YouTubers can do it. They just need a big budget backing, and they could get it done. You know what I mean? And they'll probably get it done for cheaper.
Yeah, because all they want is the exposure.
Yeah,
which is,
and then you're gonna have an epidemic of like people coming out like, oh, we were underpaid and overworked, and they made us do this and X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
But then at that point, you're like, well, they got you to where you are. Like it's a lot of, we know what comes with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully Anthony Mackie's on the right path. I don't know if his words are right, but even then, you can't silence him if he's just direct.
Yeah, he does not give a damn. But yeah, and it's true about the whole art thing, and the shareholders and stuff like that, because it is true. They're just trying to meet quotas, and they're gonna put things in. That's the one thing about some movies, because you can tell with some movies that it's formulaic. You know what I mean? You got to put that the 4 quadrant shit that people talk about, right? Oh, we need to put somebody who's gay in this movie to be inclusive, or trans, and then we got to put a black man in here, and then we got to do this, just and then we got to
just to check a box,
check boxes or whatever, and then there got to be a funny scene here, and then there got to be a partial nudity but kind of funny scene right here, and then we got to do the some movies just feel so formulaic that it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like the whole point of movies is a reflection of art. You know what I mean? And the best movies shine when the art shines first. You know what I mean? And the story shines. You know what I mean? And then you have the other movies that you can tell are just like what's that
art?
What's that movie? The one that we just watched recently, the White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah,
you can tell that was just a standard reboot. They were just like, hey, we need to dust this property off. We're running out of IP. Let's go ahead and do a reboot of this one. And they were just like, how do we make this happen? And boom, boom, boom. Check mark, check mark, check mark. It was
some are clearly made to do certain things for the studio, fill in a box or whatever, while others you can tell are done well and made for art, and they also can fill in the pockets of those greedy bastards upstairs. But Anthony Mackie is right on the money, I feel.
Yeah.
Whether you like what he says or how he says it, that's up for another debate, but he's right.
I wonder if he said this thinking that like they were gonna go on strike, and then when they extended it, he was like, "Fuck."
He was like, "Damn." But no, I imagine he's just speaking the truth. He speaks like no one else will, which is really cool. Will that get him shot? Probably.
Yeah.
But until then, keep going, Anthony Mackie.
Well, he came from 8 Mile, so
he'll be alright.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Clarence came straight up from the streets. You heard?
Okay.
Moving on, though. I guess we're not getting a good San Diego Comic-Con at all. Not even an eventful one where we can report on at all, because it sounds like Warner Brothers is pulling out. They do not want babies. They have immediately pulled out. James Gunn has now confirmed that he will not be, and it was underneath one of his Sky Blue tweets or whatever they're called. Somebody asked him if he was going to Comic-Con, and he said not this year, maybe next year. So no, don't be expecting anything from Comic-Con this year. Sony's pulled out, HBO's pulled out, now DC's pulled out, Marvel's pulled out, Pixar's pulled out. Everybody's out. Nobody's gonna be at Comic-Con this year, so probably no coverage. We might have a free weekend.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's so lame, bro. Well, because Comic-Con at that point is just people cosplaying, and, comic book vendors will be there and all that cool stuff. It's basically a regular con. What makes it this big event is seeing these films and trailers and getting news and whatever else. But when you take all that away, it's just a regular con where people can go and cosplay and buy comic books and shit like that. Share a common interest, but you take away all the fun stuff. You're kind of like, well, you can still go. It just won't be as eventful.
Yeah, I think this is a smart move from him, though. Honestly, I mean, for the rest of them, I don't know why everybody's pulling out. It just seems like everybody just doesn't want to be there. But for him, because he was the last one to pull out. My boy likes to go to the last stroke, my boy.
My God.
And I'm like, yo, what is this? Was this fear tactic? Did he feel like, oh, I'm about to go balls to the wall? I got my Superman and everything, and then last minute got cold feet. Like, what is this about? Like, are you afraid people are not going to accept what you're going to put out? Do you need another year do you think he needs another year of maybe letting people forget, and then maybe by next year be able to give out a little bit more?
I don't know. I feel like he could have really, again, DC has had multiple opportunities this year to dominate, not just the box office, but in other areas. But he's so concerned about preserving his own universe that he won't hype these movies up. Like, I haven't heard anything from Aquaman 2, whether it be in reshoots or not.
Yeah.
And then Blue Beetle comes out in a month.
There was some rumors that I guess recently that Jason Momoa went back for some reshoots. Up until the last second, this movie's gonna come out like The Flash, 100%. The CGI and everything's gonna come out like The Flash. No footage at all. We've seen.
Yeah, but no, what do you call it? Like again, they could have just dominated. He could have waited to announce his Superman to be at Comic-Con, but no, everyone's pulling out, and he could have dominated. He had the right opportunity to just dunk on these motherfuckers, but again, he just passed it. I don't know. Comic-Con's gonna be boring as fuck this year.
Yeah, no, there's no Comic-Con. We're gonna have a free weekend. I just think James Gunn is just like I said. I think it's a smart move. I mean, yeah, he could create buzz, but at the same time, he's probably gonna create a lot more. You saw what happened to The Rock. The Rock got booed, man.
Leave that man alone.
He got fucking booed. You don't think James Gunn's gonna get booed up there? The Rock got booed. James Gunn's ego cannot handle a boo. There's no way. There's no way that he can. He's gonna fucking go on Twitter right after that and be like, no DC movies for anybody until everybody apologizes. That's what he's gonna be like.
No fucking way, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Comic-Con is usually this big old thing where we get trailers and all types of good shit. But no, people fucking suck now. These companies suck. If
James Gunn were to come out and be like, never mind, I'm going to go show you guys some scenes from Aquaman 2. I'll show up for a little bit. You'd be excited about that?
I'd be like, yeah, at least it's something. Show me something to get me hyped about DC again.
My boy is starving. My boy is in need of water. He has emotional damage. There's no way. I'm not getting crumbs of shit. Don't give me crumbs of shit.
Nah, bro.
It's like he's giving you pieces of cheese, but the cheese was in the fridge overnight with not in wrapper or anything. It's just been overnight sitting there, and it got that little hard crust layer over it. And he grades the cheese and gives you the hard part around the cheese. That's what it's like to get an Aquaman snippet at Comic-Con. And that's all we get? Jeez. No, I'm good. We don't even get a good piece of the cheese. We just get all that hard shit that's around the cheese.
Yeah, but I don't know. Even then, there could have been something. Yeah, he could have blown everyone away and showed something about Creature Commandos if he wanted to.
He could have done that.
But he's not.
Well, I don't even know how deep in production they are. What is he going to show? Storyboards? I swear this looks like a weasel. What's it even be like?
Well, not even. Like, even if they had to, like, make something quick just to show what they're talking about. Hell, give a synopsis. Have the cast there and have them talk about what the fuck is going on. Something to show that he isn't just pussyfooting. But no, he's clearly pussyfooting. He bailed. He fucking bailed.
I'm telling you, man. He can't get booed, bro. Can't do it. I'm telling you. He can't get booed. That's the thing. His ego will not allow that.
Hopefully the cosplayers have a fun time. Good luck to them.
Yeah, have fun without all that extra shit.
Yeah.
Why?
They better lower prices at that point.
Hey, if you guys have friends that go to Comic-Con that don't keep up with all this shit, let them know ahead of time just so they can save money if they need to save money. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm expecting Comic-Con to lower their fucking prices now. Now they don't have to sell backstage passes to nobody and this and that. I'm expecting their prices to drop.
Nah, man. Kevin Smith might be there.
Who gives two? No. I'm just kidding. That's too harsh. But, I mean, even then, he's just a guy.
He watched the Schumacher cut.
So?
You heard about that?
What the fuck that got to do with me?
You didn't hear that?
I did hear that, yeah.
That's exciting.
He says it's good. But is he going to show it? If he's not going to show it, who cares?
He just completely just says, fuck it, plays the Schumacher cut for everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Damn, no balls, Kevin Smith. Everybody at Kevin Smith right now. No balls.
Show the Schumacher cut. Give it up.
Give it up. We need to see it. Moving on to our last topic, though, is about Steve-O. I know we don't talk about the Jackass crew because we weren't around when the last Jackass movie wound up coming out and making waves. It wound up doing really good, Jackass 4. I don't know if you've seen it.
I saw it in theaters.
You saw Jackass Forever?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
I saw it too.
That shit was funny.
It was funny. It was funny. The beginning had me like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw Dick and Balls in the beginning, I was like, damn, bro. I'm in for a ride, man.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. So he basically comes out saying that Jackass Forever was kind of a bummer for him. Basically, wasn't his favorite of all the installments. And he says the reason that is because it's not fun to watch Knoxville get hit in the head anymore. That he has a scene that left Knoxville with a brain injury because of a bull. I wrote this text to the whole cast. I wrote a text to the whole cast that day, thanking Knoxville for his sacrifices he made for his team, and also begging that he stops with the brain trauma. It was one of my my more serious and sincere messages. Yeah, and that he even goes on to say that he loved having Machine Gun Kelly on for Jackass 4. I just wish that the actual stunt we had him participate in had been at a higher level, saying that few of the stunts were kind of mid in his opinion. But it wound up making good money, $80 million on a $10 million budget. Not too bad at all. That's what, 70 mil in their pocket.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's pretty good. Got to split it in between everybody, but it is what it is. That's still a good chunk of money. I don't even think they did a shit ton of promotion. I think the most promotion I seen for that movie was on the internet, like internet posts and shit.
Yeah, just trailers and whatever you saw on Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel. I mean, I'd imagine it was a bummer to shoot all that and then put Knoxville through the shit again. But I mean, it was your guys' idea to do all that, and I know bigger is better and stuff, but if you're too old and you can suffer real damage from this, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Have one of your younger cats do it. But I know they're pussyfooting because they're young and NRAs and whatnot. But
it's not that. It's just that Steve-O and Knoxville don't want to let it go. They're the stars of Jackass, and so they think that they can do this up until I don't know how old they think they're gonna get. But their bodies aren't built like 20-year-olds. Like I seen Steve-O's bucket list tour thing live when they came down to the Fox Theater, and he was doing shit that I was like, this was on your bucket list? My boy went on horse tranquilizer. He was doing all kinds of weird shit. I'm like, this is not good for your body, my man. Like, you are too old. And he even said like a few things like ruined him for a long time. And it's like, dude, you're too old for this. Like in your 20s, 19, 20, early 30s maybe. You're 40s pushing 50 by now.
Yeah,
I think it's time to stop.
Yeah, there's clearly a thing to be like that. And about the MGK stuff, he's a singer. He's gonna want to preserve his fucking body. Like I'm sure that bicycle one was as drastic as you're gonna get him. He's gonna be fragile about it. He's gonna be like, nah, like let's do it, but let's do it to where I don't get hurt too much.
No, I think MGK would have been down for something more. I
don't think so.
You know him. He's like, oh, fucking metal. Let's fucking do it.
No, I don't think so.
No? You wouldn't have thought?
I think he's dramatic behind the scenes. But I think he does all that shit for show.
What?
I think he's dramatic.
You think it's a facade?
Yeah.
You think he's a pussy in real life?
Not a pussy, but I think he can be very dramatic when he wants to be.
Okay. Like that whole drinking the blood thing too, huh? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville should have put this up a long time ago. I think if they were doing a Jackass 4, they should have been there for like moderating and talking shit purposes and being able to, put them on the thing. Maybe have them participate in stuff that's not too crazy, but usher in a new era of like Jackass people.
I think that's what they were. That's what they were trying to do for the most part. Because I mean, think about the ones who were all getting hit in the nuts and whatnot. Like they were egging them on while they were just in the back laughing their asses off half the time. But to get on a bull and do all that shit, like you should have known that you weren't cut out for that because you're old as fuck now.
Old as fuck, to be honest.
Yeah, you like there's no reason for your ass to be up on a bull. You could have had someone else be doing that shit. Or if no one wanted to do it, don't do it at all. I feel.
Yeah, because when I seen them getting hurt, even when I seen them getting hit by the bull, I felt like it was funny at first, but I felt more bad about it because I was just like, it was like an old man getting hit.
Yeah.
He has gray hair too, so it doesn't really help either.
And then like he gets up and it literally cuts to them exiting the hospital, and you're just like, well, fuck, that kind of probably fucked them up badly.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like there's no fucking way. And even Steve-O too, like he's done a lot of crazy shit. He's fucking massacred his body multiple times. Like he needs to, I would just say, take the money, maybe become a producer on Jackass. Yeah. Think of like these crazy stunts and pay somebody willing to do them. Yeah, and just move on. And for the younger generation, because the first three, I never felt bad for any of them. I was like, oh yeah, that's just funny, whatever, blah blah. Even the third one, I don't even think they were even at that age where it was like pushing that boundary, like, oh, old people are doing this shit. But I mean, when did the third one come out? Back in like 2010, 09 or something like that. Let me double check real quick.
I can't remember. But like that's what I'm saying. If you really wanted to revamp, you'd get younger people to do this crazy shit. But till then, tying their names to it and
that one came out in 2010.
Yeah,
it's been. When did it come out? It came out in 21, right? 21 or 22?
I can't remember.
2022. Yeah, 2022. So it came out last year.
12 years later.
12 years later, they were probably in their 30s or 35 or something, mid 30s, and now they're probably like 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
That shit is too old to be doing. Yeah, no. I during the thing for sure, I looked at it. The ones that were funny were like that. I forgot their names. I forgot all their names. Like the ice cream one, that one was funny. There was like a few funny ones with like the younger cats, but
I like the mime one.
The mime one was funny. Yeah.
When they had the boxer punch, what's his name, in the nuts?
Oh,
the heavyweight. Yeah, that one was funny. You heard the cup break. That shit was funny.
Yeah, that shit made me like clench up in my seat, bro. That shit was scary.
Was funny.
But yeah, I would like to see more of these, and I would like to see more Jackass movies or whatever. But I don't want to see these old men going through it again. I'm good. Maybe less penis too.
Yeah,
that
a little out of pocket, but there you go.
Yeah, I just put that out there too, just a little less. With that being said, that's gonna be our last topic for this episode. If there's anything that we missed, anything that we should have been talking about, a movie you guys want us to review, you want to support us in a big way, Josh, let them know where they can let us know.
No, why don't you let them know?
It's a lot to remember.
So.
I start it, you end it. That's our deal.
No. I want to hear you do the outro.
Okay. Let me see if I got it in me. Here we go. All right, but you got to pass it to me.
Okay. Thanks for listening to this episode. Let them know where they can hit us up, listen to us, and support us.
Okay. Instagram, Twitter, at FilmBros Podcast. Make sure you hit us up there. Let us know anything that is on your mind. If there's anything you want to argue about, something that was a hot take on this episode, go ahead and tell us. Check us out on YouTube Music, because we have there's a podcast option on there as well now. Buzzsprout, if you guys want to support us in a big way, you get exclusive content there. And hey, why wouldn't you guys want to support us? And yeah, what else? Did I miss anything?
Close enough. Listen, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I don't know if you said that.
No.
FilmBros Podcast, and then just subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. A lot more episodes are going to be coming. On top of that, I just want to put out an announcement. 150 episodes pretty soon. We're going to be at 150. I think this one's going to be what? I think we're at like 140, right?
We're around 140 range.
Yeah, around 140. So we're going to have a good episode for you guys, a special on episode 150. So make sure you guys hit the notification bells on everything, because we are planning some big stuff. So we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.